I recorded a video right before this, and then I looked at the video, and my face looks so fat, because I just woke up, like, an hour ago, and I eat a lot of salt, so I have, like, a lot of water retention, so please ignore that. It makes me a little self-conscious. I like having very sculpted features. Right now, you can barely even see my cheekbone. Anyway, welcome to this video. I don't actually have any, like, words written down for what I want to say. This is more just, like, a ramble, I guess. But the point of this video is that I want everyone to feel valid in their regression. Everyone. Recently, there was a thing that kind of blew up in the regression community on Instagram, and basically there were some posts that were going around that a bunch of people shared, saying that age regression, real age regressors have to have some sort of childhood trauma in order to regress, and regression is a type of dissociation, and all this kind of stuff. It was very invalidating, and I made a post kind of in response to that whole thing that was going around, and a lot of people shared it actually, but the bottom line was, I don't appreciate gatekeeping, or I guess segregation, almost, of the community, or age regressors in general. No one has the right to tell you that you are a fake regressor, that you're the wrong kind of regressor, that your regression isn't valid, that your coping isn't valid, that the reason for why you do it isn't valid, and that includes people also who do it just for fun, who don't have any, like, mental illness or trauma or anything that causes them to do it. That's fine too, because by doing it just for fun, you're still doing it as a coping mechanism. You're still doing it to relieve stress and to gain fun. So I don't really understand why anyone would have an issue with people who do it just for fun, because they're in the same boat as everyone else. But I guess the point of this video is just, I want to say, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, who you are is important, but it doesn't matter who you are, what kind of person you are, what categories you fit into. You are a valid age regressor. I want to say even that people who do it sexually, although that is iffy about how legal that is, and it's almost scary to me, I guess. I want to say even those people, if they still do it for coping, you're completely valid too, and that aside from the sexual aspect. But again, I don't really have the right even to tell you that the sexual aspect is invalid. That's just something I personally am against. I wish more people in age regression communities online, like on Instagram, on Tumblr, on Twitter, I guess, I just wish they would stop trying to separate everyone. Like, I hate the whole pure regression hashtag in a way too, because pure regression, if you don't know, is usually voluntary regression that is, like, happy, and you're just a little baby and you're having a good time, your mind is at ease. Because I feel like, although that's really good to have, using that hashtag almost glorifies having that kind of regression, I guess, because although there's an impure regression tag, it's barely used, because no one wants to talk about their impure regression, really. But I don't know, I just have a slight problem with pure regression, because, like, if you go onto that hashtag, you only want to see happy regressors, and I feel like that's not what age regression is as a whole in the first place. I guess that's my problem with it. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I told you this was like a very ranty video, but it doesn't matter what age you are, what your ethnicity is, what your race is, what your culture is even. Doesn't matter your skin tone, your hair color, doesn't matter your weight, your height, your body proportions even. Doesn't matter your gender, your sex, anything. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what you look like at all, what kind of person you are labeled as or label yourself as. If you are an age regressor, if you have a headspace in which your brain just shifts to, I think like a 5-year-old now, help me, then you're an age regressor. And that's really all there is to it. I'm not sure if this video is making sense exactly, but I hope it makes someone feel better. Because, I don't know, the posts that were going around were really irritating to me. Because I've seen gatekeeping about so many things, and that by far was the most petty thing. Because it raises having trauma above any other, like, mental illness, any other thing that you could have stress over, like chronic physical illness, like I have. And no, like, I don't think anyone has the right to say, my regression is valid because I have trauma. If you don't have trauma to cause it, then guess what? You're not doing age regression. Like, firstly, how could you know? Secondly, who are you to tell anyone that? And thirdly, I can't. Thirdly, that's ridiculous, in my opinion. Because like I said, even the people who I personally stay away from, the age regressors who do it for sexual purposes, at the end of the day, I don't really care as long as you aren't interacting with me. I'm not gonna tell you that your regression is invalid, because that's not my place to say. I don't know you. I don't know what kind of regression experience you have or have had. So that's just the point of the video. No one has the right to tell you, to tell anyone, you're a fake regressor, you're appropriating regression, you haven't had enough bad stuff in life happen to you, so therefore, your regression is invalid. No, that's not how regression works. When I made my original post on my story on Instagram, someone responded to that, and I'll put their Instagram in the description if you want to check them out. But they said something that really made sense to me, and that is, I guess, like trauma, dissociation, all that kind of stuff, that just happens to you, but regression can be learned, right? There's a difference. So although for a lot of people they might go hand in hand, people can still learn how to create a shift in their brain without having the trauma, dissociation, having any triggers to their age regression in the first place. I thought that was really true. As someone who I used to only regress involuntarily, and then I kind of figured out what it was, so it stopped being as scary for me. I stopped being so ashamed of it, and I started doing it voluntarily because I found that it was good for me, and I learned how to do it voluntarily. So regression is totally a thing that you can learn. It's totally a thing that can help pretty much anyone, and if you regress, then you are valid in your regression, and that's all I have to say. You can follow me. I have links in my bio. Like this video if you agree with me. Dislike it if you disagree, I guess. Talk about whatever points you want in the comments, and goodbye.